Hello, Definitively 4 here again. And at first I was wondering whether I would do this one or not, seeing how it's not really a creepypasta, it's more of a pasta theory. Yeah, more of a pasta theory. But hey, I decided why not. Anyway, this is one of my original creepypastas. Well, or whatever you like to call it. Just call it creepypasta. It's called Find the Hidden Truth, and the first half of it is in Professor Oak's point of view, and the last of it is in the trainer, or technically, I won't tell you who the trainer is yet. Point of view. So, anyway, I hope you enjoy one of my creepypastas. It'll only take a few more seconds, and done. It's finally finished. It took me such a long time and many failed experiments just to get this right. So many copy Pokemon dead, but it was worth it. The steady heartbeat and the sound of draining water showed that it was ready. I snapped, telling one of my aides to get the clothes and a hypno. "Who are you?" I asked it and watched it slowly get up, not quite used to its legs yet. "Ash. My name is Ash Ketchum," it said, and my eyes widened, not expecting this. He was supposed to respond to another name, but this is the best for now. No one could find out what it was made of. No one. Days turned into weeks, and into a year as I learned everything about the world and trained with Pokemon. As I observed from the lab, I realized that it refused to go near any ghost-type Pokemon, but didn't mind the psychic types. Its eyes turned from its original red to amber brown, while changing everything that it had was red to blue. At first, I thought it was just a failure, but it showed progress after it went on its journey. The Pikachu I assigned to it was rogue. I fixed that by giving it a state of trust by sending that flock of Pharaoh to the two of them. As I expected it protected it no matter what. As the time happened, I told it not to go anywhere near Mount Silver, otherwise something bad will happen. I noticed that it made companions, two gym leaders and a Pokemon artist, an assistant I assigned to observe its nature. He reported that from time to time it would stare into the night as if searching for something. 3 months have passed since then, and it has encountered a Mew and a failed experiment of Team Rocket on a remote island. I feared for this, seeing as how that very experiment somehow was able to make copies of others, as well from the abandoned machinery. As I heard during the battle, it was struck by two very powerful attacks and turned into stone. It almost worked too. But it seems that the Pokemon itself saved it from the depths of eternal petrification. The copies left, and I was left to look into its journey more. After it entered Johto, I noticed that I was getting enough self-awareness to worry me. What if it found out what it really was? Hopefully I won't have to worry about that too much. Team Rocket seems to be meddling a bit too much into things. I noticed that it got the attention to others as well. Is it going to be good if it starts going to different regions as well? A certain gym leader that I know is running into them a bit too much. He's also using an alias for some reason as to that. But he is still very young and foolish when it comes to these things. 3 more months have passed and the chip signal that was placed in it disappeared at a Pokemon Center. I start to get a bit more paranoid now, seeing as how the gym leaders have gone back to their respective gyms. I have heard rumors of it signing a pass in my name, to go to the very place I told it now it was even thinking of going to, Mount Silver. The rest of the support was cut off, seeing as how the chip monitoring the save journal was stolen, or destroyed. The young trainer trudged up Mount Silver slowly, seeing as how he was just wasting time at the moment. "Pika?" His Pikachu responded as it snuggled into the nape of the boy's neck. The boy didn't say anything, he just patted his partner's hand as it finally reached the top of the mountain. Only to Fridge's surprise as he saw somebody else up there already. Another teenage boy, possibly a few years older than him, but paler than anyone else he has seen before. The other boy seemed to notice him and turned around, his eyes widening a bit at the 10-year-old. Their outfits were surprisingly alike, the only difference being the shoes, hat, gloves, and color. The boy with the Pikachu looked down from his staring at his red eyes, was contrasted with the amber brown. He remembered a specific professor telling him not to go up Mount Silver because something bad would happen if he did. He could see why he said that now. He had been noticing that a specific copy Pokemon would stare at him in longing, and that people were usually wary of him, except for those two gym leaders. He couldn't count out as artist because he was an assistant to that professor. He knows his own name. He knows that he wants to be at the very best, but it just sounded hollow to him at the moment. The young trainer knew what he was finding out. He wasn't born. He was created. That's right. He remembered it now. I'm a copy. A replica, the boy said as he looked up, his normally shining eyes a dull brown. The boy in red simply stared at him in realization, but for some reason not anger. It was as if he knew for a while now, which would be true to an extent. I knew something was different about me, but I didn't know any better. I thought I was just like everyone else, but I'm just an experiment made at the cost of several lives of someone else's DNA. The boy continued speaking as the others simply stood there, the snow growing a bit heavier from the summit of the mountain. The reason why I looked into the sky, I looked for answers, wondering why I was created. Maybe I should have gone and disappeared. He said. The boy in red just stared simply at him and stepped forward. The boy just stood there, going over every good thing and which had happened to him during his first full year of training with Pokemon and making friends. His Pokemon were his partners, Pikachu being the one to understand him the most, and all the adventures he went on. As it all came back to him, tears dripped down his face, thinking that he was just a worthless reject. He felt bad. All the Pokemon used to create him were dead, trying to take the true champion's place and taking the research notes, even though he didn't feel as guilty as he thought about taking them. Suddenly, he felt something warm wrapped about his waist and saw red fabric. The boy in red, the true and always will be champion, was trying to comfort him. The tears just fell down even more, the feeling in his legs going weak. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The boy repeated over and over again like a broken record, the guilt in his chest pouring out. The boy in red didn't say anything. He just held the younger trainer in his arms, offering comfort that he normally wouldn't do. After a few minutes, he pulled away from the boy in red and showed him several documents, obviously stolen from their hometown lab. Sorry. I need to do this. I just can't let something like this happen again. Afterwards, I'd like to disappear again. This place seemed like a good place to do something like that, right? The young trainer set off a small smile on his face. The boy in red nodded, but shared that same smile with him. A few months had passed since that day, and like he said, he disappeared again. But a popular professor from Kanto incarcerated for several charges. The famous professor known all over the world was recently arrested under charges of Pokemon abuse and faulty experiments, killing all but one successful experiment. The very experiment was sent on a journey of his own after a year of surveillance, provided the police with enough evidence to put him away. Nobody knows what happened to the boy. People say the last place he was seen was going up to Mount Silver on a Pidgeot 3 months ago. A boy with a cocky smirk walked up to Mount Silver, an aim palm with a wide grin on his face clinging to his backpack. While they happened to be looking for someone, going up this forbidden access mountain was pretty worth it. Who knows, they might find that thief around here somewhere. As they exited the cave and walked up to the summit, only to see two trainers, one in red, the other in blue, looking out into the distance with the snow falling lightly. His golden eyes widened as the two turned toward him, the older one staring straight at him, and the other with a big smile on his face. Hey, have you come for a challenge? And that's all I have for Find the Hidden Truth. Yeah, I bet you guessed it. I bet you guessed how many people I put up in this one. creepypasta, fan fiction, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, you already heard whose POVs it was. And I actually meant to mention it before, but it's in the third point of view after the save file was just accountably destroyed. Nobody knows what happened to the save file. Actually, it was originally supposed to be a creepypasta, but after I was writing it more, it just ended up becoming more of a sendipasta theory. And a lot of people don't make sendipastas that much anyway. They do, but they don't make really that much. But, yeah. What happened was that Ash Ketchum, or Satoshi Ichihara in Japan, was apparently the unholy combination of a Ditto and Red's own data. And, hey, do you all remember that one episode when Chansey tried to take care of Ash and their group? I think that was in Kanto because I don't remember Tracy being in it from all those years ago. When she tried to help out Ash, taking care of them and such, but she ended up accidentally injuring Ash, but, with that brush while he was taking a shower. But what happened in there, even though it wasn't mentioned, was that Chansey had found the chip that was in bed in Ash's back and took it out without him noticing, which was the main reason why he started to gain his own self-awareness. And I bet none of you expected me to add gold to the end of the story. Oh, and the person he was talking about, you could guess who it was, but I'd rather say it was Silver he was looking for. Cause I'm not sure when he went up to Mount Silver or not. I was just going on how it was so far. So anyway, that's all I pretty much have to say. I'm gonna put up that other creepypasta that I made. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. This is Definitely 4, signing out.